All right, let's do it. All right, you ready, Denny?
Yes.
Welcome to Graybo's Giblets. We are Gray Burnett, Ryan Fitz, and Duke Dotson. And we own a sports card shop called Graybo Sports Cards and a sports bar called Parlay in Richmond, Virginia. We know you don't have 40 hours per week to pour over podcasts and spreadsheets, but you want to get in on the action, so we do the work for you. We bring you 30-minute giblets or less each week so you can feel good heading up to the window and into the weekend. We are the crossroads of sports lovers, fantasy heads, sports betting, and sports cards. We're out here dropping giblets for the people, and today we're going to break down everything you need to know as we head to Oakmont Country Club in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's the third major of the year, the U.S. Open Championship. And Denny, I know you're excited because we going.
We're going to be there, man.
Ah!
Yeah. It'll be my third golf tournament ever, my second major ever. So I'm pretty excited.
I'm really excited. This will be my third golf tournament as well, but first major.
Okay.
First major. Very excited.
Well, I'm glad I get to share this moment with you.
Yeah, we got to turn the juju on. I think going there, we're going to win some bets this week at least.
Yeah,
hopefully.
for sure.
So we're going to break down the course a little bit, talk about who we like, get into one and done, and then do some of our fun favorite bets and try to hit that make the cut parlay that we did not succeed at Augusta. So, again, this is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We have 156 golfers, just like the PGA Championship, but it's a lot tougher. Top 60s in ties instead of top 70 in ties. Did you know the Open Championship and PGA do top 70 in ties, and the U.S. Open does top 60 in ties? So it's going to be that much harder. The Masters do top 50 in ties, but that's half the field is cut.
Right.
It's very 90 golfers or something.
It's very merciful because the U.S. Open is very painful. So a lot of people could just get to go home, and they're excited about that.
Yeah, it is going to be grueling. A lot of people. We might see some broken clubs. The rough is freaking impossible. They cut it today.
Okay.
But I saw a tweet from Johnny Vegas that said still impossible. So it's going to play hard as hell. It's a par 70, 7,400 yards. That's 200 yards less than Quail Hollow. But this course is a lot tougher than Quail Hollow with their second shots and definitely around the greens. The greens are very small. And it is known for on the third and fourth hole, those church pew bunkers. I don't know if you've seen a video, but it's going to look beautiful when we're there live. Not for the players, but for us. To see those church pew bunkers. And here's some player notes in interviews this week. I took the three best. Carnage, cooked beyond belief. So when you hit the green, it's just going to roll. And the hardest course in the world. That is unbelievable.
Tell me how you really feel.
So I cannot wait for this carnage to happen. And so some of the things I'm looking for, I think one of the things I added to this after seeing those quotes is being mentally tough.
Sure.
A lot of these guys are going to bogey a lot of holes. Bogeys might be fine. You got to limit the double bogeys, got to limit the big scores, but can you stay mentally tough and, take a bad hole out and move on to the next hole?
So you're looking for unflappability, the inability to be flapped.
Yeah, and Bryson didn't have that at first.
Right.
Does he have it now? We will find out. Off the tee, you have to be very long and very accurate. Have to hit fairways. You hit the rough, you're going to be penalized. You hit the rough, it could be bogey right away. That's just something to think about when you're looking at your golfers this week. Long and accurate. Strokes gained approach always, every week. The Scotty Scheffler. Bogey avoidance. Par is good here. I think par could win it. So think about the movie Tin Cup when that guy is just like, I'll make par every hole, I'll take it. You'll take par here, and you could ship the U.S. Open. Strokes gained around the green. You're going to miss a lot of greens. Can you get up and down? The save par is going to be huge. So going in, Denny, what are the storylines that you have? Who are you looking at? Who's looking good? Who's not looking good?
Well, I think the season-long storyline has changed from can Rory win a Grand Slam this year to Rory won the Masters and checked out mentally. So I think I'm fading Rory this week. Obviously, Scotty, hottest player on the planet. You feel like he's going to factor into the mix. I think a lot of people like Bryson this week, and look at somebody like Xander, who is very solid in the U.S. Open, very unflappable, I would say. Top 14 or better the last 3 years. So I think that's pretty interesting. A side note, Tim told me he really likes Cam Young this week, so everybody fade Cam Young. Whatever bets are out there to fade Cam Young.
Let me talk about last week real quick. The
Okay.
RBC Canadian Open. I wanted Sam Burns. There was a great line on him, 28-1. Unfortunately, I got him at 20-1 because I didn't get him until it was live, and he birdied the first hole. So he went down 21. I got it. On Saturday, I was like, all right, he's 4 back, probably not going to win. Goes nuts, shoots 62. He had a 9-foot birdie putt on 18. I cashed out $75.
Okay.
Because there was so many guys that were behind him that had so many holes left.
Right.
There were only 2 or 3 shots behind him, and he still had that 9-foot putt. And he didn't. I was like, I don't know if he's going to make this, but he sank it, went up 2. Then he started dodging. Like, people just were messing up left and right. I'm like, he's going to freaking win.
In regulation, yeah.
This is going to be a Ryan Fitz thing.
Right.
And Ryan Fox had that putt on 17 that looked awful. I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
What I did, though, is when I cashed out at $70, Cam Young, I used the boost on FanDuel to get Cam Young at like 27-1.
Okay.
And he went nuts. I don't know if you watched any of this.
Yeah.
He was 1 shot back going in 18, which is a par 5. Just birdie, go into a playoff, win. He does not have the clutch gene.
Yeah.
This guy on 17 had one of the worst tee shots. I don't know how he parred it. Amazing. Made like a 10-footer for par. And on the par 5, great tee shot. Goes for in 2. Skulls it like over the green.
Yeah.
And then his chip looked like us. So then he had to chip in for birdie. He ends up bogeying the hole. I know he's 150-1, but he is not winning the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
And there's another guy that has a bet Ryan Fox to win the Canadian Open, and then he parlayed it with Cam Young to win the U.S. Open to win like $100,000.
Wow.
His cash out is $1,000. Everyone's like, cash out.
Yeah,
cash out.
yeah. Click that button.
And then Burns had a 5-foot putt to win it, so I was like, here we go. He's gonna make it, and I'm gonna look stupid, and he missed.
Yeah.
So I was actually very pleased with my $75 cash out.
Yeah, I would be too.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
All right. So storylines. Denny talks about Scotty. He has the shortest odds to win a major since Tiger since 2009, which is unheard of.
Wild.
Where is Rory's head at? There's something going on with him. Skips the Memorial, comes out to the Canadian Open and almost comes in last place. So I got to stay away from him this week. I don't know what is going on.
Me too.
And Bryson is the only one that I think, I hate to say this, can compete with Scotty this week.
Yeah.
The other odds, like looking at the board, like a lot of players are just off right now. But Bryson's on. He hits it long. He's strong out of the rough. The U.S. Open, I think, is his favorite cup of tea. So I like Bryson this week to compete with Scotty. And you can get him 8-1. So let's talk a little bit about one and done format that we have here. We're in a league with 154 entries.
Let me take a sip before you read these stats.
Fitz has moved from, I'm tracking like our movement.
Yeah.
Fitz has moved from 108th to 125th, and now he's 140th out of 154. I've gone from 11th to 30th to 53rd. I've had a bad stretch. Duke started at 117th, not good. Has gone to 128th. You're now 142, 142nd. Fitz is ahead of you by 2. Out of 154 entries, you guys are 140 and 142.
Can we move on to the next segment,
Yes,
please?
we can. So people listening to this like, why am I going to listen to these guys? Because we're going, and we got the juju this week. We got the juju this week. So this week, I'm taking Bryson. The time is now. I've been saving him for the U.S. Open. A lot of people burned him, but burned him in a good way. Like, he's top 5 in, like, every major. I need a win here. I need Bryson to win, and he's the second favorite. Can't use him anywhere else, really, except the Open Championship. I think Bryson plays better at a U.S. Open than the Open Championship. So going DeChambeau here is my one-and-done pick. Duke?
Yeah, I mean, I've already burned Scotty, Rory, and Xander, so kind of made the decision easy for me. I'm actually going to follow you here and take Bryson as well. If you're not going to use him now, when are you going to use him? And I agree with everything you said about him. I think he has a great chance to compete this week.
All right, so we got Bryson. Let's move on to our outright winners. And that kind of like to continue on, like, hate to say it, I have one main play. Put in a full unit on Bryson, 8-1. When you bet someone this short, you get this has to be your big bet. Scotty is ridiculous odds. I think it's like plus 280. That is absolutely ridiculous, but he's the best player in the world, and he should be plus 280. So Bryson is the only one that I like. Looking at the numbers, I will have a few sprinkles as well. But my main play is Bryson 8-1. I missed him at 9-1. He was 9-1. He keeps moving down. He's now plus 750 everywhere. So we got him at 8, which is nice. Sprinkles, I will take Burns after a good week last week. He did not play well in the playoff holes, though. I don't know how he's gonna deal with that mentally. But he has the putting stroke for the U.S. Open. So if he can find fairways, find greens, I feel like his putting will get him there. Harris English is another guy that's just a grinder, mentally tough, and he's 100-1. He's top 10 in the Ryder Cup. He's won on tour before. Someone that's not going to birdie a lot, you don't need to birdie a lot here. This is not going to be a birdie fest. You want the guys that can put in the fairway and grind for pars around the green. And the other guy that I think could maybe get his first major, Patrick Cantlay at 50-1. They call him the Iceman. He's going to zone everyone out. He doesn't let, bad holes get him down. So I'll take Cantlay 50-1. Those are my three. Now, the more and more we get closer to Thursday, I'm loving like this Ludwig number you're about to talk about. You kind of got me on Shane Lowry that you're about to talk about. So who are your main plays?
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth on the Cantlay idea, I don't see him winning, and I don't like him, but I think you're right that he's had too much success at this event that he's been in the mix a few times as of late, and so I think 50-1 is a good number for him. Yeah. I'm not going to play it, but I don't mind you at all playing it. I'm with you. Scotty's too short, so I just can't ever play something that low in a field this size. Bryson at 8-1, somebody who can handle the rough because he's a manly man. So I did look at. Obviously, most tournaments I look at course history, really the last 3 years I think is the most relevant. I look at form and obviously somebody whose game matches up with this style of course. With the U.S. Open moving from course to course, I did check back at Oakmont 2016, just look at the leaderboard to see, it was 9 years ago, who's still relevant. And there was really two names in the top 15 that I thought, did well then that also are relevant now. One of them is Bryson. He came in 15th in this event. He was a young man. His game wasn't nearly, as kind of fine-tuned as it is today. So I thought that was interesting. So I do like him at 8-1. I think Xander, if you look at Xander the last 3 years in this tournament, he's come in 7th, 10th, and 14th. So it just shows me consistency, unflappability, like we discussed earlier. Can he, do I think he's going to beat Bryson and Scotty? Probably not, but I just think at 22-1, I think it's worth putting something there. And finally, I liked Oberg I saw him at 25-1 on FanDuel when I learned he was 30-1 at DraftKings. I really like that number. Mm-hmm. Again, back to my analogy, my process of, hey, if we played this 30 times, you don't think Oberg can get it one time?
He's getting it one time.
He played solid the last 2 weeks. He came in 12th in this tournament last year. He's going to win a major at some point, so, have some money on him when he does. For my sprinkles, the other person who showed up at Oakmont 9 years ago was Mr. Shane Lowry. He came in 3rd at Oakmont.
I did not know that until you told me.
He played well, this week. He's played well this year.
A really good year.
His form's pretty solid, and he's at 50-1. So I like the value there. I agree with Sam Burns. If you can get him at 75-80-1, he's a guy. He's got a gear kind of like a Sepp Straka gear. When he gets hot, he gets real hot. So he can make up a lot of ground in just one day. Mm-hmm. He can beat the field by 3 or 4 strokes. So he came in 2nd last week, came in 9th in this tournament last year. Another guy who I hate betting on, but if you just stare at the data, like, is Fitzpatrick, man. He's 110-1. He won this tournament 3 years ago.
Won me a lot of money 3 years ago.
He came in 8th in the last major at the PGA, and he's had some repeated success at the U.S. Open. So, and then the question about Tim's guy Cam Young, he's 150-1. I'm not taking it, but I'm just throwing it out there. That's what Tim said.
150 to 1. He's been playing like you're going on like a lot on form too. Like Cam Young has played well the last 2 weeks. He played his way into the U.S. Open, winning a playoff with against 5 other guys.
I think he played with your dad and Tony Finau carrying his own bag. Or no, Max Homa carrying his own bag.
Yeah, he played with Max Homa. He beat Max Homa, Ricky Fowler, and Eric Cole, all professional golfers.
Wow.
In a 5-for-1 playoff. It's so that is grueling.
Was it Sycamore Oaks?
Yeah.
Sycamore Creek, I mean.
Sycamore Creek. 150 to 1. God, I mean, you can get some big numbers to sprinkle on just because of Scotty's number.
Right.
Like,
and listen, you and I probably think Scotty's probably going to find a way to win this.
Yeah, we're
but
playing
like,
the number.
You watch a lot of tournaments, he wins a lot of them, but there's times where like a course like this, he can make a triple. He can, something crazy can happen and somebody else factors in. So I think it's worth looking at other guys.
Absolutely. So back in 2016, I don't know if you mentioned this, Dustin Johnson won. What was his score? Do you know his score?
I'll pull it up. I don't know.
That's interesting to know what the score is. I think it's going to be a lot harder than 2016 just based on what I've been reading in the rough. But I'm interested to see what that score was because that's always a tiebreaker when you're doing pools. So -4.
-4
was the winning score.
Shane was 1 under. He was 3 back.
I've heard
he came in second. Sorry, Shane Lowry T2. Sorry,
T2 -1, 3 back.
With Jim Furyk.
He was only 4 guys under par.
Yep.
Shane Lowry and Dustin Johnson, Jim Furyk, Scott Piercy, who are not relevant anymore. Yep. So I like that a lot. If you had to rank the 4 majors, what would you rank them?
As far as
your favorite,
me liking them,
yeah.
Well,
Masters enjoyable to watch.
Masters is first,
yep.
PGA's last, and then the Open and the U.S. Open are really close. I would probably take the U.S. Open.
Okay, so we're the same. I think that's a lot of people, right? Like Augusta, the Masters, Epic. I would go the Open Championship because it's just something different.
Yeah.
U.S. Open is that mental test, grueling. You like to see professional golfers struggle.
Sure.
I really do. And then the PGA, which is fine, but just, your score is usually birdie fest. All right, let's get into our favorite bet, our We Riding segment. Unfortunately, 0-3 at the PGA Championship. JT missed the cut. You and Fitz both had him the top 10. Fleetwood top 20, and I had this a lot. He was locked, even going into Sunday. Blew up Sunday, finished 40th.
Hate to see it.
You just hate to see it. So this week, for everything you said, Xander top 10 plus 200. He's a guy that loves U.S. Opens. His last 3 U.S. Opens, 7th, 10th, 14th. I would cash 2 of those 3. And the third one, when he came in 14th, was very close. I'll take that every time. And that plus money, let's get it.
Yeah, I actually wanted that exact same thing when I looked in the sheet. I was literally going to type Xander top 10, but I didn't want to copy you. So give me Shane Lowry top 10 plus 360. So get a little more juice on that.
Okay, I can dig it. I'm going to ride with you there. We're gonna be cheering a lot together this week. We have to have good juju, so let's ride together. Now, our make the cut parlay, we were 3 for 6 last major, so did not get it done. Fitz is not here. I'm so sorry. I forgot to say Fitz was not here. Everyone's probably wondering where Fitz
they didn't even notice.
Where Fitz picked.
Suck it, Fitz.
Fitz is on vacation. Well-deserved vacation for all the hard work he does here at Graybo's. He will be watching the U.S. Open for sure and giving us his picks, I'm sure, through text. But so we need to pick 3 instead of 2.
And we're going to have one of the same, it looks like.
It looks like we have one of the same.
Okay.
So Xander is our one that we have the same. So we know that is solid.
Yep.
So I'm going to put him in the Fitz name there. My other 2 are going to be Harris English and Ludwig. Actually all these numbers are not bad because of how hard it is.
Right.
So Ludwig was like minus 200 or something.
Yeah.
We'll take that.
Yeah.
All right. So your 2, other than Xander, we're going to have 5 since we both have Xander.
Yep.
Don't want to press here,
Okay.
So let's just go with the 5.
Okay. Well, I'm throwing in Shane Lowry at minus 235. And then I'm going to take Matt Fitzpatrick.
Ooh.
Let's see where Fitzpatrick is.
Yeah, put
He's
that.
way down
put
there.
that in. Is he plus?
Man, yeah, he's farther down than I expected him, and that's why I threw him in based on his history.
That's fine.
Let's gotta
Because
find
he's
him.
another guy that doesn't like. He won't birdie a lot, and that's fine.
He's minus
That's fine.
135.
All right.
So
Did you plug them all in?
all right,
for
let's
us?
see. Fitzpatrick,
Xander, English,
Shane Lowry,
and Ludwig.
Xander.
And I'll get the final number here.
I need Harris and Ludwig.
Yes, sir.
Ludwig, and then Harris is going to be down here.
So Ludwig's minus 235.
So we got-
English minus 165.
So we're at plus 630.
Plus 630.
I like that.
Yeah, let's get it.
Fitzpatrick, Lowry, Xander, Oberg, and English.
Let's put a full unit on it, baby.
Unit pressed. Let's go.
Let's go. I like it. We're hitting.
All
All right.
Lineup
So we are probably going to play a lot of DraftKings lineups.
So let's build one.
Do you want to build a single bullet for the people?
Yeah.
Guess how much Scotty Scheffler is. You won't believe it.
Starts with a 12, probably. 13. 14.
I think he might be 14.
Man.
dude.
We got to fade him then, right?
We got to play Bryson.
Yeah. I think we got to fade him.
And even at 14, I think he's still the most popular guy. Like looking at 14-4, most popular guy. I was looking at ownership around 30%, where Bryson will be around 20 plus. And look 11,000 compared to 14-4.
I mean,
That's such a
we
discount.
got to take Bryson. Are we taking Xander too or not? I don't think we can.
I don't think you can. So you want to probably want to have two guys that we think are going to win, right? So we think we have Bryson, and then we're looking at it. The people that we bet: Shane Lowry,
Or Oberg.
or Ludwig, or
Oberg
Xander.
is $800 cheaper than Xander.
I'm fine with that.
So Oberg.
Yep.
All right.
And then we
Let's
gotta
put in
go-
the cheap guys then.
Yeah. Then we got to go deep. We got to go deep.
We're not gonna go that deep, right? We're not going in the fives.
Can't go. It fills in the fives.
Yeah. I saw somebody try to make a case for Phil on Instagram
No.
today.
Oh God.
Haven played well here. Played last year in the
let me
Open.
also look.
I'm trying to scroll up
No,
until the.
did you see Pavon or whatever
Pavon,
his name
yeah.
is? He got that 12. Did you watch that?
No.
How he got a 12. He broke it down on Twitter. It was so funny.
So Novak 6,300 played well this year.
Ooh, Novak ain't bad.
Dietrich Rye is 6,400.
Rye is someone.
Came in the top 20 last year in this tournament.
All right, let's take Rye.
Okay.
He's a guy that has a very good hits fairways.
Cam
His
Young.
putting might give him.
Cam Young 6,500.
We're taking Cam
Okay.
for 10.
For Tim.
For
All
Tim.
right. So now we have 82.50 per guy left with two to go.
82 per guy. Now, there is. You like Fitzmagic. He's
I do.
7-1, and Birds is 7-1. You can play one of those guys, and then we can go and get someone really good.
Well, if we want to win it, let's play Burns.
Okay.
And so that leaves 9,400. So you can get Cantlay.
So we get Cantlay, Neiman, Hall. This group kind of struggles for me. Like I'm
But
not.
of those
Of guys.
So let's let the listeners hear. You can take Cantlay, JT, Fleetwood, Neiman, Hovland, Koepka, Matsuyama, or
And
Lowry.
Shane.
But Lowry, you're leaving a lot of money on the table.
Do you want to upgrade, play Shane, and then take Rye out and upgrade?
Maybe. Yeah. Let's do that. All
So
right.
then we got.
That leaves 8,000. So you got
So we can
Hideki.
go like Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Tell the
Hideki,
people.
Straka, Hatton, Spieth, Henley, Bradley, Finau, Connors, Cam Smith, Ben Griffin. I mean, to me, it's Hideki or Sepp.
And I would probably go Sepp. You don't want to fully play all 50,000 because that could be a very duplicate lineup.
Yeah,
And looking at that on paper, that looks really sexy.
we got some guys. I mean, let's think about the upside guys,
Yeah,
right? You
right.
got Burns and Straka, who are the guys who can get really hot.
Yeah.
You got Oberg and DeChambeau who can win. You got Tim's guy, Cam Young, and then Shane Lowry, who will probably
love
come
it.
in third.
I love it. That's $1 million lineup.
All right,
there.
submit.
It's $1 million lineup.
There you
Now,
go.
it's also, when you're thinking about it, like, very popular probably as
Yeah.
well because
But you have two high variance guys.
Straka's won twice this year. Lowry's been very good. Burns had a good week last week. Young had a good week last week. So like,
so it's not that crazy. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and especially in the millionaire, you have to get you have to be real crazy. That's gonna do it. We're gonna be at the U.S. Open. We're gonna be at the U.S. Open.
Let's win $1 million this week at the U.S. Open, and let's win $1 million at Fanatics Games next week.
Man,
when I win
I'm so excited. What do you think? What do you think, Fitz?
Fitz, great contribution today.
All right, let's win some money. Hope you ride with us. Hope we helped you out. See you later.
Oakmont Giblets.